What's up, my dudes? Valkyr, and today I'm going to be testing out Shimenawa on Xiao. Now keep in mind, the sets themselves, I don't know exactly how well they're going to compare to each other, but I have a pretty good set of each, so I'm going to be able to compare. What I'm going to compare today is the regular 2-piece 2VV. I'm going to compare it to 2-piece Glad, 2-piece Shime, and then I'm going to compare 4-piece Shimenawa for the plunge damage, so we can see the difference between them all and exactly how well he's able to keep ult up while Shimenawa is active. So we're going to be going through a lot of stuff. This video might be a little bit longer, but we're going to go through testing. I'm going to run through real quick on the base set. I'm going to go through the pieces so you can see the pieces. I'm going to run through the base 2VV, 2 Glad set real quick, and then we'll move on over to 2 Glad, 2 Shimenawa, and then we'll move on over to 4-piece Shimenawa. That way we get a baseline of what my Xiao is doing about. We're going to be having the same weapon, Staff of Homa, and then hopefully these substats don't change too much, but this is a really good setup, so I don't know. And we're going to have just Zhongli as a partner, that way we can get really good, accurate testing. But yeah, anyways, we're just going to be doing Ballet of Remembrance because this is the easiest domain to get energy in. So let's go ahead, let's get into it. Let's get our baseline for the 2 Glad 2VV, and then we'll move on from there. Alright, real quick, to interrupt your video, I'm sorry, this is something out of the blue. You're going to see this gameplay repeat here in a second. I'm just using this to voice over to talk to correct something. That way, you guys get really accurate comparisons based off the sets I have. I keep mentioning that the 2 Glad 2VV set throughout the video is 240. Upon review, while editing this video, I can see that it was 230. So whenever it comes to actually doing the calculations and figuring things out, just subtract 10% crit damage from all the numbers I'm mentioning, and you'll have a really accurate comparison. So yeah. Oh, Mr. Zhongli, you keep me so safe, so I can do silly things. Alright, let's get our passive up. We just want to look at the very first one. Let's get high. 47k, 47k. Seems to be a very consistent 47k. Yeah, about 47k consistently with just Zhongli on the team. No resonances, no anything. 47k is about what we're doing. No, not really any buffs, just Zhongli. 47k a plunge. Pretty good, pretty good. We want to make sure to heal Xiao after every test. That way we don't accidentally trigger Homa's passive in between doing things. But now I'm going to go heal Xiao real quick. We're going to swap over the artifacts, and then I'm going to show you what the 2-piece Shimenawa, 2-piece Glad substats look like, and exactly where we're sitting. And just because I don't think I documented it, 2300 attack is where we're currently at. So let's go ahead. I'm going to swap on over here. I'm going to heal, and I'm going to swap artifacts, and we'll be right back in the domain. Alright, now I swapped around the artifacts. I moved around the artifacts a good bit to try to get as close as I could. I'm still about 12% crit damage out of what the other build was, and losing the 12% crit damage as well as the extra animo damage. It might hurt a little bit, but yeah, we're going to go ahead, and we lost 20% crit damage. We lost 12% crit damage. We lost 20% animo damage bonus, but I gained about almost 200 attack. And then if you look, I'm going to go through the pieces real quick. This is the circlet. This isn't changed, but then we moved over to a Gladiator feather because the only one we had here was crit rate, so we would be losing way too much as far as crit damage and attack goes. So then I wanted to go ahead and swap that over, and then I put this one on because this is the closest I could get to this flower. This flower is so good. That's about the closest I could get to that flower, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to run this and test this out. And we're going to see exactly how much it does per plunge. This is just increasing the attack, by the way. This is just a 2-piece. So let's see exactly what we're working with here. Should be something pretty nice. So we're gonna go here, 1, 2, 3, to get our energy particles coming to us, so we get a good refund. 46, so we lost a little bit, but I think that's more so because the other set's so good. 46, 48 there, now that we're starting to scale with the rest of the time. So, yeah, I think, I don't know. It's really close. It's virtually the same running a 2-piece. It's not really that big of a difference because, like I said, the main difference in here is the stat difference that I have between the two sets. This does let the normals deal more damage. I'm definitely noticing that. So while the normals dealt more damage, everything else was kind of Everything else is kind of the same, right? So I'm going to go ahead now, once again, heal up Xiao, and now we're going to swap over to the 4-piece Shimenawas, and then we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and get that going. Alright, so now we're on the 4-piece Shimenawa. You can see the attacks have gone down now that we dropped the 2-piece Glad. 61% crit rate, 217 crit damage, and 46.6% animo damage. But I'm going to go through the artifacts real quick so you can see the artifacts. These are the same Shimenawa sets I'm using to basically test anybody that I think could possibly use Shimenawa. The only really rough piece is the Sands here because it hit flat HP so many times, but the rest of the subsets are pretty good. Other than that, this is pretty close. Like I said, here we've lost about 23% crit damage because on the main build we're at 240 crit damage, so that's something to take into account. Other than that, everything's virtually the same. The only real difference, like I said, is the 23% crit damage. So now we're going to fire this up. We're going to see exactly how it is. 47k, I believe, is how much we were doing before. This should be a pretty big spike. I want to make sure to do this, and then I want to see exactly how much it is. 49k. Okay, so this is 50k. It's ramping up. This is definitely a much stronger set for C0 Xiao. For somebody with C6 like me, it's not stronger because I'm going to be doing less for skill usage. But, yeah, you can see 31k where normally I was doing like 40k beforehand. Xiao got Pepe clapped. It happens, dude. But, yeah, it was doing about 50k per plunge. That's about 3k more, and it was 20 crit damage less as well. So that makes it even that much more of a difference, as well as the normals, you're able to do more because 50%. So, yeah, I think for a C0 Xiao, if you manage to get a good 4-piece for it, this could be a set worth looking into. It's a very powerful set. It's definitely about 2k damage more per plunge. Just the only thing is the energy recharge. You can see, Xiao died here, I'm sure before. In this domain, you'll always stay full energy. The energy recharge could be an issue after one rotation. So you might have issues trying to recharge it because you'll accidentally, like, you won't be max ult, but you'll suck it up. But I mean, if you get Ball whenever she comes out, she's going to help a ton with energy recharge. And then this set becomes a lot more viable. So, with the downside being energy recharge issues, they're going to exacerbate his already existing energy recharge issues. They're going to just make it worse. But it's a very powerful set if you manage to get a good 4-piece. If you're C0 Xiao, I do recommend actually going this set if you plan on getting Ball. If you don't plan on getting Ball, then that's up to you because that's a big toss-up. That is a big like trade that you're making, energy recharge versus everything else. So that is up to you. Other than that, thank you all for watching as always. If you guys have any more questions, I'm going to be testing other characters of Shimenawa. Anybody you would like to see me test my 4-piece Shimenawa on, let me know in the comment section below. Other than that, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.